Hi, welcome to another episode of Homeownership Heroes. I'm your host, Brian Burjans, and today we're joined by a special guest, Maria Reed. Maria, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
For those that don't know Maria, she is the 2019 Armed Forces Insurance Army Spouse of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Army.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Oh.
Okay, so Maria, one thing that we hear a lot about in the military spouse community is unemployment and how high the unemployment rate is. So you recently just bought a house, you moved to Fort Hood. How did you go about tackling that for yourself?
Well, as we know, the military spouse space is underutilized, underserved. We have a 26% unemployment rate and a 36% underemployment rate. And I was very much in that underemployment rate. I did find a position as a teacher working well under what I should have been paid, and about 57 miles away one way. So I'm going back and forth. This wasn't really working for our family. So I kind of took matters into my own hands and created my own job. I produced and created a television series called Moving with the Military.
And so for the folks that don't know, because they will after the show though, what is Moving with the Military?
Moving with the Military is a home makeover series that shares the stories of military families, because our goal is that we seek to bridge the civilian-military divide. We have found that civilians are so interested in the lives of military families and kind of what's happening. So we work with that, but we surprise military families with home makeovers, and we do this to help improve the quality of life for military families.
That is absolutely amazing. And so how many shows have you done?
We have done 23 episodes in 3 years. We're going into our 2020 season. It's going to be very exciting. We recently did an episode in a collaboration with the 2019 Armed Forces Insurance Coast Guard Spouse of the Year for a Coast Guard spouse who was terminally ill. It was a touching and heart-wrenching story, but the makeover turned out beautiful, and it really brought the community together. We had over 125 coasties and civilians coming out to help support the family. So that's the beauty of what we do.
So you've done well over 20 episodes.
Yes.
And so all this stuff is done by volunteers, correct?
Most of the work is done by volunteers, other than some specialty things like electricity or plumbing.
Sure. And so based on what you've said, you don't really have too much trouble getting volunteers.
No, that is such a wonderful thing to see people come together, civilians, military spouses, veterans, come together to work on a common purpose. It's a common goal that everyone wants to see that finished product and help the families. So no, we don't have a problem getting volunteers.
So what's new for 2020? You got some big plans?
We do have big plans. We have a sponsor this year for the entire season,
Nice.
10 episodes at minimum. We even have some surprises in there, some DIYs that we work with the community in. That's one of the parts that I really do love the most, because we do DIY events where we encourage military spouses and civilians to come and work together, creating a piece of decor, a piece of furniture. But more than making the thing, we're building a thing, we're really building a person. We're
Nice.
building them, and it's just my favorite part.
So what are some of the locations? Can you give out some of the locations you're going to have?
Upcoming?
Upcoming.
Well, very soon we're going to be in North Carolina. We're working with the Marine Corps family. And
nice.
then in we're based out of Texas, so it does make it a lot easier to work in Texas. But kind of the surrounding areas, Arkansas, Arizona, Fort Bliss. We're going down to South Carolina, actually over to South Carolina, and then Louisiana.
So how do you guys decide on locations? Like, how does that happen?
A lot of it is logistics. So producing a show can be very costly. So we have to have the funding to be able to figure out where we're going to go, what families that we'll be able to help. When we get families' stories, some of them are so huge. It's hurricane damage. It's really big. And at this moment, we may not have the budget to do the really large ones. Eventually we will. But we have to base it on logistics and the story.
So for all the viewers out there who have never heard of Moving with the Military, how would they find and locate these episodes?
Awesome. So we are on Farm and Ranch TV, which is available on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Chromecast. Our show sees about 4.5 million people per episode, which is really amazing. On our Facebook, Moving with the Military, same as Instagram, or our website, movingwiththemilitary.tv.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us and sharing your story. It's been
you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you very much. And this has been another great episode of Homeownership Heroes. I'm your host, Brian Burjans, and we'll see you next time.